Hello, students. Pay the attention towards the things which are around us. What do you think? Do those things include any chemical? Are they made up of any chemical or chemicals? Say, the food that we take, does it possess any chemical? Yes, it possesses. The soap that we use for washing purpose, does it possess any chemical? Answer is yes. The air around us, does it include any chemical? Answer is yes. The blood, chlorophyll, all these important things include chemical or chemicals. If we have to study them, then we need to understand their reactions. Say, if we take a milk can convert to curd. So chemicals present in the milk and chemicals present in the curd will be different, and the process is called the chemical reaction. So this chemical show chemical reactions, and these chemical reactions, if we need to study, then we need to go to the micro or nano or further smaller level of the matter. You can take a bucket of the chemical or a small portion in the test tube. Both show a same reaction. A small portion in the test tube, can we reduce it further? Can we decrease it further? People have understood a long before. A matter shows reaction because of a small portion present in that matter, and our ancient say Maharshi Kanad from Gujarat 600 before Christ, he labeled that small portion as an Anu. And about a century before, a Chadwick discovered the neutron. So from 600 before the Christ to 1932, almost 2500 years journey. And in that journey, people understood what is that small thing. If we bring bananas from the market, a bunch of bananas, we can measure in terms of dozen. Further, we can give the measurement scale. 1 dozen means what, the 12 bananas. So that 1 banana is a item. Number of bananas we can count. If we bring grapes from the market, say 1 kg of the grapes, number of grapes we do not count but are countable. Likewise, suppose if we go now in chemistry point of view, a bucket of the water, liquid water, a chemical, can we decrease its quantity? Yes, we can take it in the mug or the jar. Can we decrease it further? Yes, we can take it in the cup. Can we decrease further? We can take it in the spoon. Can we decrease it further? Yes, we can take a dropper. That's an eyedropper that we use, no? And take a water in that dropper and drop up that water from the dropper. It's a small portion of the chemical from our point of view. But in true sense, do you know how many small species of the water are present in 1 drop of the water? I give you the answer. There are about 2 into 10 raised to 21. 10 raised to 21 number of water species are present in one drop of the water. 10 raised to 6 means we consider million. 10 raised to 9 means billion. And here 10 raised to 21, such a large number of water species are present in the one drop of the water. Here people have now stopped. If we break that the water species, we will get further small species. We will get 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. So that 2 hydrogen species, that smallest ever portion of the matter, discrete smallest portion of the matter, called as atom. Now if I consider in my one hand, just imagine, or in one pan, there is a 1 kg of gold, and in other hand or the pan there is 1 kg of cotton. 1 kg of gold and 1 kg of cotton. What do you think? Who will weigh more, or both will weigh equal? Yeah. What will weigh more? Cotton will weigh more. Is it right? No. 1 kg of gold and 1 kg of cotton both have the same weight. Weight point of view, from weight measurement point of view, both have the same quantity. But from our quantity point of view, volume point of view, volume of the gold will be little bit smaller, and volume for the cotton will be what? The larger. Number of species present in the gold species I am talking about, will be less. Number of species present here will be what? Larger. So packing in gold and packing in cotton, packing in water, packing in iron, in different chemicals, there remain a different packing. Of whom? A small species. And what is that small species? An atom. So if we have to study the chemistry of gold, chemistry of cotton, chemistry of water, chemistry of iron, chemistry of any other chemical, we need to understand a smallest portion present in the matter, in that compound. So this atom, how does it look like? Whether it is cuboid or cylindrical or spherical, what is present in that atom, how chemical properties depend on the atom, which factor is responsible, how radioactivity is shown. All these things, if we have to understand, first we should learn what is that the smallest thing called as an atom. Let us study the atom stepwise.